Here we go. We have ourselves a 2v2 mix-up lobby. If you have never seen these 2v2 mix-up lobbies, they are a lot of fun. And right now, we're doing it as a replacement for ranked, which has been tough on Rocket League's top players right now, as there has been some DDoSing issues that have allowed cheaters to get into the high ranks. So instead, we have 5 really solid players who are going to be playing today in a 2v2 mix-up. If you've never seen this before, 5 total players will end up playing every possible matchup between them in terms of, you know, teams and opponents, and we'll keep their scores along the way. We have nothing on the screen right now indicating who has won, but we've also just started, so don't freak out. And we're starting with Zen and Nupo playing against Dralii and Atow. That is how it's going to go down today. I think it ends up being about 15 or so 2v2 games. Is that right? So it actually takes a decent while. The good news for them is they get a lot of good practice, because I've seen a lot of talk around the Rocket League scene. Oh my goodness, this is going to give you an idea of what we're going to see today in these kind of lobbies. Atow goes immediately to work with a nice full field psycho right out ahead of Zen. Zen gets a touch, but he cannot quite save it. That is filthy to get going. We have the KC duo on the same team to start, and Zen and Nupo on the other side of the field. We'll get to see Zen and Nupo play a few times together. I know that's a duo that people have been excited to see play together, as Dralii and Atow. A bump from Zen onto Atow actually to try and stop him from being able to cheat up, but cannot fully stop him as Dralii quickly gets the follow-up. So let me start working here on the side. I might be slightly distracted here, as I want to make sure that we get something indicating who has won or what their records are so far. I think we'll probably just track their wins. I don't think we need to include losses, as Zen probably hit a clip. Knowing him, I see that he just scored. Let me watch this on replay as I was looking off screen. Nice fakes. Faking both the teams, or both the players on the orange team, before eventually shooting top rights. Pretty sure I have, yeah, nice file to do this with. Oh my goodness, Nupo. Another air dribble fake, I think, into a ground dribble. Again, or ground pinch, I should say. I'm looking at another monitor at the same time while setting this all up. Yep, reset fake down into the ground pinch to make it 3-3. And we were only 1 minute into the game. Kickoff goal for Zen and Nupo, as Zen gets a demo and then a pass right back to Zen to quickly bring this one back after the KC duo had pulled out to a bit of a lead. Okay, this is looking not bad here. And now let me just make sure it's on this scene somewhere. Okay. I think we're doing somewhat well. We might need to make it a bit bigger. How's that? That looks pretty good. Hopefully it's not too big. I guess we can make it a little bit smaller. One sec. That should work. And I'm sure you guys are probably begging for it to be in the dead center of the screen, but I'm not going to put it on the dead center of the screen. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it over here on the left. As now it is time to lock back in here. Lock back into the match. Okay. We are 2 minutes into our first set of 1v1s. And there is no lack of scoring in these lobbies. It's George, or it's Jorge, I should say. Thank you for the 7 months tier 1. Please put it back centered so it's easier to see. Also, M7MC, thank you for the prime. Dralii, we go for a solo play. You saw Nupo got a bump on Zen, which forced a late recovery. My goodness, he just slots it right over the top of both of them to make it 4-4. Chat, early predictions. I know everybody who has come to watch this lobby probably has a different favorite player, or maybe, you know, a fairly common favorite player here and there for different nationalities, I would say. But who do you guys think is pulling out on top? I mean, I think there might end up being ties after the 15 games, but who would you expect over Nas, Nupo, Zen, Dralii, Atow to take the win here today? Atow wins, Zen or Nupo, Atow, Zen and Nas win the most. I think these guys are all strong 2v2 players. I don't know who is maybe the lowest rated right now, but I think anybody would feel lucky to have them on their team. Dralii is going to miss that initial clear. It's much easier to make the save there, but he drops back down and still gets the save as Atow bumping Dralii off. There is a crew of teammates here with Atow and Dralii, the only two teammates that could maybe give them a little bonus, as Nupo is going to clear out the nets. Another time where two defenders are getting beat out by one. Atow and Dralii right in the same spot cannot be ideal. Nupo taking advantage of that. And we have a 5-4 game. I have to imagine this is especially high-scoring starts to these matchups. Nupo pre-jumping the initial setup and now making sure to double up on the saves. Zen and Nupo right in the same spot. This time it works out for them as opposed to the KC duo, who were not able to get a goal. Also should change the overlay, which says that it's best of 3, when in reality, I'm just going to take it off. Oh, look at that. It looks a little bit awkward not seeing those game wins, but they don't really make sense anymore, so we don't need them. Nupo and Zen up 5-4. As Nupo waited on the midfield 100 for what felt like an eternity and then still didn't get it. So now on fairly low boost as Atow and Dralii try and start an attack here. Mixed up the pace of the shot. Dralii shot late, but Zen still able to get that backflip to make the save. 19 seconds left to go. Zen a dunk to keep them on offense. Nupo pre-jumping, so Dralii heads to the ground, but I mean, that pre-jump does enough. Dralii wanted to attack through the air. Nupo goes up early, forces Dralii to make a much simpler attack, and it gets cleaned up. Little team pinch from Zen and Nupo, and they will win game 1 in this 2v2 mix-up. There we go. Game number 2. Nupo Dralii versus Zen and Nas. So let me go update the other part of the overlay as well. I got a lot of like adminning to do behind the scenes here, but I think it's going to be worth it overall to be able to get this lobby, as Dralii going to flick over the top of both Zen and Nas to put them up 1-0. Oh, I do not like the way that updates and covers the whole screen. I can slightly fix that. Here, sorry, again, I'm going to have to go back into fix mode that I know can be annoying because I'm not looking at the psychos happening on screen. But okay, this should be a lot better. Nas gonna throw one on target, and Zen quickly follows up. I don't know why we've seen so many different times both players on these teams have been in the exact same spot. I feel like getting used to watching twos, they do such a good job of separating from each other. I don't know if it's lack of chemistry with the specific duos, but I mean, we even saw it from the Dralii Atow duo. This time, Nupo and Dralii both sitting on 0 boost in the exact same location. This time, Nupo protecting the back wall, and it doesn't matter. Zen still scores. Maybe the defenders should get back together because these defenders are split up. Dralii on the ground, preparing if Zen does go down there. And Nupo prepped on the back wall. Doesn't matter. Zen passing to himself and slotting bottom rights to take the lead. No comms, guys. It's actually interesting. Atow was asking, he was one of the, actually he was the first to accept the idea of playing in today's twos lobby. And he said, is it going to be comms? And I said, probably not. I mean, I guess it's up to you guys. You could hop into comms between every round with your new teammate, but I would not expect them to. I would assume that unless these guys were already chilling in comms together, like maybe Dralii and Atow could still be in comms or something just because they're hanging out as a team. I'm going to guess that everybody is not in comms, as Nass going to miss a backboard cleared, and Nwpo going to drop it in. Atow is not skipping replays, and Zen is having issue with it. I don't know what par petit means in French, but I know what Atow and skip means, so I think that's all I need to know. Zen going for the full field pinch. Does put it on target, but without a demo, it was never going to be a goal. Maybe there's a world in which Nass sees it coming, runs up ahead, and gets a demo on the defender in net. But I think there's a chance that Nwpo actually might have been able to cover it if he saw that coming as well. Dralii was trying to slot bottom right, but Nwpo finds his way back. Let's go watch a little Nwpo POV for a bit. I've been watching Nwpo POV in ranked. We actually uploaded a video that had Dralii and Nwpo in it as their teams right now today because they had ridiculously high scoring games when I went through and looked for some interesting games to watch. And Nwpo often does as Zen gets a double reset because he's all over the field. He's all over the field in every matchup he plays in, and he just finds a way to farm points in game. So I'm interested to see what his POV looks like here, as we'll hang out probably at least until the next goal on just Nwpo POV. Zen, flick, denied. Dralii actually got bumped into that save. Zen was trying to clear it out. Nwpo, maybe not the cleanest touch, but he's going to leave it off for Dralii, which could have been what he intended as he swings out to midfield 100. This is what Nwpo loves. He loves a pre-jump, and he's actually being really passive with his pre-jumps as well. He's not attacking the ball, just floating in the air and pointing away as a way to discourage and say, look, I have the top of the arena covered. You have to go to the ground. And on the ground will be his teammate Dralii, waiting to get a much easier, less dangerous clear. As Dralii doubling down to himself. Nwpo with 88 boost on the side wall. 50ing with Zen. Waiting patiently here as he's going to get himself a free possession. You can see him power sliding and actually going for a boom. I thought maybe he's going to pick up some boost and try and set this thing up. Is Nass pre-jumping? Nass is at ceiling height, I think, off screen. Okay, he came back down. I saw Nwpo's POV. He saw Zen with the ball and he said, I'm ready. I'm ready. Zen has the ball. He's creating something. It doesn't matter where I need to be. I just need to get somewhere. But Nass did decide to bail out of that. Came back down to the ground. Looks like a potential pogo attempt from Zen as Atow continues to not skip replays. Nass launching a pass up to Zen. That early though. As Dralii and Nwpo looking to hold on. Nwpo yet to lose so far. Neither has Zen, so we're instantly going to have a leader here. Nass from ceiling height. Can't find anything. That net is looking wide open as the orange team is getting a bit more dangerous. An attempt to try and bring it back. And Dralii and Nwpo are going to make it a 2-goal lead. Nice double from Dralii, but these really are layups in a lobby like this one. If you get yourself just a little bit of space, and not really necessarily an open net, but a late retreating player like that, they're just too good to miss it. Nass on 0 now as he sets one up off the back wall. Orange team needs a miracle if they want to take this one away. Zen at least able to change up the back wall double and held on to a good amount of boost to be able to clear it downfield. Nass diving, and you can't blame him, but he only comes away with the demo. He got back to the ball. Director Cam switched from him, but he somehow floated his way back. Now Zen getting bumped from behind by Nwpo to clear out the play. That one needed to be a goal, and then they needed a kickoff miracle, and they're not going to get it. So it is going to be a Nass and Zen loss. Nwpo and Dralii going to get one on the board as these guys start spamming quick chats. I guess because Nwpo stole the goal. That's what Dralii's mad about. Well, we are tracking MVPs because the spreadsheet that somebody hooked me up with is a really solid spreadsheet. So it's a good thing. Try and steal in those goals, making sure you get MVP. I don't know who's going to be or where they're at right now as it hits ground. Nwpo Dralii on the board with a win. Game number 3. We got Zen and Atow versus Nupo and Nass. Nass, I believe, played that last game in the Fennec, but is into the Octane now after catching the L. Scanned by no Feer live notification. I tried to make sure to tweet as well. The Twitch can sometimes be finicky in whether or not it gives you a notification, especially if there's been multiple streams in one day. But of course, this is the only stream we've done today, so that shouldn't have been an issue. You can always try and turn Twitter notifications on, but I do tweet sometimes when I'm not going live, and then sometimes I don't tweet when I am going live, so that's not going to be guaranteed either. You could always subscribe to the YouTube. Maybe your YouTube notifications are better. Set up live notifications there because we have been going live on both. And if you're hanging out in the YouTube stream and you want to chat about the lobbies, you do have to come over to the Twitch. Otherwise, you can just watch with no chat on YouTube, as Nwpo and Nass are going to be the first to score. We had such a flurry of goals to open up this whole series, and it has slowed down slightly. I'm not sure what happened there with Atow not making a play on the ball. Nass was able to kind of walk up to it and take that tight angle shot. Atow can immediately take a shot off Nupo's touch. Essentially an assist from Nwpo as Nass gets dunked by Zen. And was he hoping for a softer touch, or is there collusion? I mean, I didn't see it from Nupo's POV, but I mean, it didn't even seem like he was... Maybe he's going for a bounce hit, and he tried to get it. He got it way too early. I can't really explain what he was hoping for, because what it looked like he did was perfectly pass the ball directly at Attow's car to allow him to shoot, and that doesn't seem like something he'd do on purpose. As he goes to the back wall, Atow unable to go the distance. Zen leaving that midfield 100, maybe under the assumption that Atow would eventually get it. He was sitting at 92 himself, but I'm sure these guys are very aware of whether or not the opponent or themselves will get a boost, and Atow gonna get himself a flick and a lead for him and Zen. Nass gets a dunk that goes nowhere, and right back into Attow's control. Zen makes sure that Nwpo does not have a good challenge, and it is 2-1 in favor of Zen and Atow. Nass with a drop off to Nwpo. Got it over the top, and a nice passing play between the both of them. They instantly drop some quick chats to each other as they do a great job of using one another. Nass out to the midfield. Nwpo recognizing, not trying to score, instead just beating that last defender, getting to the back wall, and then just lets Nass come and finish it. 2-2 Zen. What a fake. The brutal fake from Zen, as he just hangs out behind the ball and lets the opponent go flying by. That's the Zen aura fake. Nass, eligible bump. Make it 3-2. Can't let Nass get into 1v1 scenarios, although everybody in this lobby is an insane 1v1 master. So I actually take it back. I take it back, especially, you know, with Nass not being able to win, you know, his first tournament in a while after winning multiple salt mines. He did only get, I think, top 6 in the 1v1 RLCS for EU. And considering everybody else has, you know, people who either make grand finals or top 4 or definitely could have. I guess pointing out that Nass is a good 1v1er is probably not necessarily relevant in this lobby. Nass slamming one home as Nwpo instantly drops him a nice one. And a great pass. Great team chemistry on the quick chats. Yo, get me in the lobby. I would carry. Chat, type 1 if you want YMK14 in the lobby and you think that they would carry. I mean, we might. I don't know. It's a lot of ones. We might need to get him in. Nass looking for the pogo. Trying to get as many fans as possible. Bro, secretly Vatira on alts. I feel like it's like dog chasing the car, where everybody's like, get me in the lobby, get me in the lobby. But then they don't know what's going to happen if they actually do get in the lobby. If the car stops and they catch up to it, what now? Okay, you're in the lobby now. It's just you getting omega clipped on left and right while you're not helping your teammate at all. Is this what you really wanted? 4 points if the pro wins with the buddy. Right now, Zen and Atow behind 2 with 48 seconds left to go. Zen passed one to the ceiling, just Nass in net. He went for a slam down pass. I actually felt like he was hoping that Atow would dive in and instantly play off of it. Instead, Atow plays off the bounce. They've gotten a couple good shot attempts, though, but they don't really have the time to fail on any of them because they need an instant bucket. Sorries are said. Zen, redirect off the sidewall, denied by Nwpo. Nass will clear it away and putting the air underneath it. Probably enough to get them a win, but this is a great counterattack. Well, it was. It felt like a potential counterattack until Zen missed. P12C4, they've been 20 months. Tier 1. P20C4 is right. All right. Game number 3. Going to Nass and Nwpo. Nwpo continues to be undefeated. Nwpo cannot be brought down. Does he get an MVP as well? That's the question. No, he doesn't. MVP for Nass. Zen and Nas versus Dralii and Atow. Nwpo currently undefeated. He's going to take his break now to see who's going to win without him on his team. We've got a win for Zen, Dralii, and Nass, all while teaming with Nwpo. Can we show the win-loss record? I think wins is just going to be less cluttered. I think wins is going to work out as being less cluttered. But we have a spreadsheet, so at the end, we can look at everything if you stick around, including MVPs, because this guy who hooked me up is a legend. We'll make it clear that these are wins, in case they weren't already. Is Feer even watching? I wasn't in those moments. when I'm setting up the overlay stuff in between, I am looking at a second monitor. Describe what happened. Was it a quad reset pogo psycho? Missed the best goal? Yep, that sounds right. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. And then then, you know, my shorts editor clips it for later, and it's just me yapping about absolutely nothing. And then I just get absolutely flamed like crazy in the comments. And you know what? That's my life. I do it for you guys so you have a great overlay here live. Atow and Dralii losing last time they played together. Trouble in Paradise over in Carmine Core. Probably not. Have we just been stuck on Zen POV? I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does seem like we're not on director cam. As Nass is going to put one on target. Nobody home. And it goes to 2-1. Atow was the miss, and then Zen chased Dralii off the recovery. Nass on the dribble. Nothing comes out of it. Dralii running upfield right now. Seems like a very popular strategy is the air dribble and the blocker, who just runs up ahead, tries to clear out and make it possible to score. Defense right now is so good that almost no matter what you do in the air, unless you have a bump as well to go with it, it would seem, you're not going to have an easy time scoring. Dralii and Atow bring this to a stop right outside their nets. Nass not able to find that tight angle that he found before. Chip past Dralii looking for a double. That's an impossible angle, but he left it for potential teammates. Zen deciding not worth going in here. Probably the right decision with how close of an angle it was. Now the ball back into the orange half, but Zen electing to just lob it away. Oh my goodness, I don't think he expected them to both fake that. He could have put on a pretty solid shot if he knew that neither one of them were going to get touched. Instead, he reacted late, and credit to Nass, who has been cooking as well. Nass drops this down. Actually, Dralii probably had a decent clear. Atow ends up sending it directly into the post and out to midfield. And it's a 3-1 lead. Zen quickly making it 4-1. Nass dropping him the nice one after Nass won the kickoff. Little wave dash chip. Oh my goodness, Zen. Atow aggressive off the kickoff. Zen able to pick up the 100 and return to the play, though, as he's going to pre-flip underneath this ball. Gets a reset. Oh my goodness, Zen. This is a nasty shot from Zen. Soft touch to himself, lands on the sidewall, pre-flips, first touch reset to like a flick, essentially. I mean, that's exaggerating it slightly, but scooping underneath the ball to get the right touch and put it in the bottom right. And it's a 5-1 lead, which I think I'm realizing now has no, Nass must have lost with somebody. Nass has actually been kind of cooking as well in these lobbies. This is the first time we've had a blowout, and it's against the normal teammates Dralii and Atow. Dralii had a good setup there for a double, but it's going to be cleared away. In this case, he's going to be forced to reset. They're going to end up playing about 15 games, anybody who's joining in here late, because they will play with every possible teammate against every combination of opponents. And I think with 5 players, that ends up being about 15 games. So it's a good chance to get a lot of solid games, especially with the lobby this stacked. Zen. Soft touch. Has the ball taken away. Nass, if he could have somehow kept that ball lower, would have had a chance to run it up even more. 5-1 here, though. Atow's still searching for his first win. I mean, I can't even imagine. Coming into this, I'm not sure who would I expect to get a win, or who would I expect to come out on top of these lobbies. It really feels like this is just maybe one of the most stacked lobbies we could have possibly made. Maybe some people have some other ideas of who could have been in here as well. I know the rest of KC could have been in here, Vatira. I mean, there's lots of players who can ball, but man, this is a pretty darn stacked lobby. Rawas, yeah. Game 4 going the way of Zen and Nas, as Zen tries to get one final clip. Atow won't let him. Rattles! That's what I was thinking. He's the best EU 2v2er. Atow Nass versus Zen Dralii. Instant kickoff goal for Atow Nass. Just raw Gregging it. Nass so far I think has only lost when playing against Nwpo. Atow and Nass going to score again here quickly. Atow just sends it straight to the ceiling, and then Zen maybe thought he was going to get a beat, but ended up getting there way late. That will not work out. Dralii and Zen, are they rocking the same cars? We've actually seen a few different replays with guys teamed up rocking the same exact preset. I don't know if that's part of the meta right now. Making sure everything is perfectly aligned. Obviously improves team chemistry. Although Zen and Dralii need some help right now as they're down 0-2. Zen 50 on the goal line. Nass gonna clear it away. I'm gonna take 1 second. The hostages are barking outside, and I don't know. They don't normally do that. I'll be back in 1 second. So the best clip of the whole day is gonna be scored right now. My dog was doing the thing where he stands outside the dog door that is very much open, and he could just walk through, but he barks as if it's not. And he needs me to touch it to show that the flag, not the flap or whatever, of the dog door is in fact movable, and then he came in. So he made sure to bark his lungs out, though, in the meantime, as if I was trapping him outside. Did you tell him it was open? I did. I said it's open, but he doesn't listen to that. You have to actually move it and show him that it is indeed movable and open. And now he's sitting right here next to me. And he does seem happy about it, so it was a worthy cause. Atow, oh my goodness. First touch reset, sidewall double. But does not create anything for his squad. Does seem like Atow is on track to getting on board. You're fairly sure it's 12 games per player? Yeah, they have to sit out, I think, 3 times. But we'll get to watch more than 12. Nass and Atow relentless on the attack right now. Zen going to get rewarded with a save coming from behind the play. A demo from Nass onto Dralii is not going to be useful when Atow finds himself on the wrong side of the ball and can't actually bring it towards the net. They'll be forced to reset and try again, but it's in possession for Nass and Atow for a while now. Dralii with the first real chance for them, and it's going to be a nice one from Dralii. He gets possession for 1 second. And he's able to create some offense as he sidewall dashes to set up off the sidewall, gets reset on the ceiling, doubles it off the back wall, bounces it in over Atow, and puts him and Zen on the board. Atow resets, is going to create an opportunity for Nass, who is available for the tap-in. I think he jumped himself off the ball, too. And then pre-flip back for that touch. That save was not a good enough clear. And it's 4-1 for Atow and Nass. Nass Octane buff. Did he lose? I remember he did lose in the Fennec and switch to Octane. I imagine the way it's been going for him so far, we'll see Octane for a bit. As Atow recovers just in time. to clear this one out of danger. Nass gonna shoot at an open nets. And it'll be 5-1 with 1:06. Go next. All right. Was that confirmed? Okay, Dralii confirms. I was like, does his teammate want to go next? They need to both say they want to go next. Atow and Nass with a win, 5-1. Okay, the good news, chat, after I choked, is that I just picked a future game. So this guy who set me up a spreadsheet is a really solid spreadsheet to get every single game in and give everybody like a good teammate ordering where you don't really play with one teammate too much. You don't sit out too much. He literally made it perfect. And can you imagine that I messed it up? I messed it up and I typed something wrong. So we played one of the future games. So now Atow and Nass are going to play again, coming off of a win, which feels, you know, a little bit biased towards them. So clearly I am just favoring those guys and want them to win. But we should be back on track. We'll just skip that game when we get to it in the future, as Nwpo will be the first to score. Can't wait for AI to take Feer's job. You're getting complacent. Listen. I'm doing 6 jobs at once, okay? AI will steal some of my jobs. I'm doing the overlay. Oh, yeah. Okay, the overlay is wrong because it just takes it from the lobby. All right, I'm figuring it out, guys. I'm figuring it out. Here we go. I'll replace it. Bang. Look at that. Alien Escape. They gave the tier 1 for 30 months. Thank you for still subbing despite the slight mistakes I've made. Tell me I'm the only one. I'm not the only one who thinks you sound exactly like Shroud. I don't know. Type 1 in chat if I sound like Shroud. Type 2 in chat if this guy's is crazy. I've never heard that one before. It seems like majority 2s. So, unfortunately, you might be crazy. I've heard Shroud a little bit. I don't watch a ton of Shroud, but obviously everybody who's watched a little bit of FPS has probably seen some Shroud, heard Shroud a little bit. Shroud sounds like Feer. Oh, that's why everyone was typing 2. Yeah, good point. Ground pincher. Dralii had somehow found a way to get some air on it. Maybe it stood a chance. Atow flick. And gets a second. Slimper, they have the 72 months of prime. Much appreciated. When I do an NA version of this, who will be in it? I mean, you never really know. It has a lot to do with who wants to play. You know, not necessarily like the strongest players, although we have pretty much close to that here. I think there's ways we can mix it up a little bit to maybe make it stronger, but I mean, you're kind of splitting hairs, I feel like. But, you know, players have to also want to do it. I think the ranked situation right now has helped with these guys being interested in doing it. But also I think Dralii helped a lot as well, because he basically got behind the idea. He seemed to like it and then helped in reaching out to some of the players through means that I can't in order to make sure, you know, they were down to play or were potentially ready. I think Dralii doing some work here. Getting demoed, though? I saw both the players on the other side. Nwpo wall dash into shots that he would not have been able to get to with how little boost he had. He wasn't able to do it. Yeah, I know you can't split hairs yourself. Okay. I have mustache hairs. Did you think about that? Dralii, nice reset shot. I think Nwpo, yeah, pops up. Good win. Nass, who cheated up, forced back on fairly low boost, gonna have a tough time. I could reach out to the NA guys as well, because I'm assuming they're having the same kind of issues. It seems like everyone's having the same issues. Maybe they'd be down. Nass, I don't believe has lost yet in the Octane, but it's looking like that might change. Nwpo actually, yeah, he's dropping the sorries because Dralii had pre-jumped and was already floating the bounce. Nwpo, I mean, assuming they're on the same page, it's probably even easier to score with Nwpo's idea, you know, just tap it down and let Dralii finish it on the ground. But Dralii had already full committed, expecting Nwpo to leave it. And so he drops the sorries, and now it is a tie game as Atow sees an open net courtesy of his teammates. Dralii had to jump to dodge a demo and then pre-flip back out to cover it, which means he does end up over-committing. You lose all that mobility when you're forced to play it the way that Nass made you. And that allows Atow to find his way in. Nass has a demo. Will he go for another one? He tried to bump Nwpo, didn't get it though. Atow, a protective 50 to keep it headed straight down. Nwpo wants a double. What a slot! We watched it from the defender POV, and it felt like Nass was in a pretty good position, but it goes to show just how tough it is to stop these doubles. Great placement from Nwpo. 4-3, and the Nwpo Dralii squad back in the lead. You never had a DDoSer in a lobby of yours, so maybe they only do it in low elo? Aha, that's actually probably what it is. Yeah, they haven't made it up to your rank yet. That's a good point. Dralii versus Atow, both on low boost. Dralii goes double jump bump. Ooh, nice counterattack, or nice clear, I should say. Not quite a full-on counterattack. Oh, wait, maybe it is! Oh, for a second, that ball looked like it was headed in. It is going to be credited as a save. So it probably would have been a goal with no other help, but look at that. Nass staring at a wide open net, using the G2 goal explosion from the good old days. I think he played Esports World Cup it was, right? On G2. As we have maybe one of our first nail biters. No OTs yet so far. Atow dunking at the midfield. Nwpo's brought this to the ground. Nass, good backflip challenge. Not letting Nwpo get anything cooking. As Nass gets his reset too late to get any real movement around Dralii. Dralii versus Atow 1v1 again. Dralii just forcing the awkward challenge. Nwpo over the top. Crossbar and cleared away. Dralii, not the best first touch. I feel like he was trying to guide it up the side wall, get an air dribble going. Instead, they cut right back down. A demo and Dralii and Nwpo maybe have a chance to score here on 0 seconds. As Nwpo is going to put it out back midfield. It'll get sent to the ground. OT! Atow and Nass versus Nwpo Dralii. And this is actually for first place, right? Nwpo versus Nass. They're both at 3 wins. Nwpo, I don't think he has lost yet. Is that true? No, he actually lost in the... No, yeah, he hasn't lost yet. He had to sit out a couple in a row because I think I made the mistake wrong. Normally, it's set up so that you don't have to, but Nwpo not able to score in this setup. Atow going from his own back wall, landing around the midfield. Clean take from Dralii. Maybe not the best touch there from Nass, but the orange team does not go all in. Nwpo with space and boost. What's he going to do? Leans back for a reset. Maybe sent it up too high. Bit telegraphed on his aerial. Dralii low 50 around 1. No boost left over to make anything happen, and so he's not going to be quick enough. That 50 is going to squirt right out to Atow, who sends it to the back wall. Nass bump. Director cam showing us his POV, but with ball cam on, which makes it a lot harder to read. Dralii shadowing the ball here all the way down the field. Nwpo tried to turn in, gets himself demoed. So at 30 boost, Dralii goes to work, gets past 1, and goes low. Maybe he was hoping for a dunk. He says sorry, because I don't think he got exactly what he wanted. Nwpo first touch reset, almost brought the ball into the top right. We are approaching 2 minutes after scoring 8 goals here in regulation. These guys have gotten a bit more defensive with the entire game on the line, as Nwpo runs out of boost and leaves this to Dralii for the clear. Nass tried to play really patient and slow to hopefully fake or win a 50, and instead he immediately gets the ball taken from him and turned into a scoring opportunity. Nass late reacting off the sidewall. Dralii puts it home, and Nwpo stays undefeated in this 1v1 mix-up. All right, Nwpo Dralii. Nwpo MVP. Game number 7. Nwpo has yet to lose. I think that's the storyline to look at. Nass almost able to stop him in that last overtime. But Nwpo and Dralii do win. The most wins you can get is 12. Nwpo's already sat out twice, so Nwpo's going to be involved a lot in the rest of the games. I think he has only one other sit out to do. So it's going to be really hard to truly stay undefeated. And this might be one of the toughest ones to do it because Atow is actually lowest on the totem pole here in terms of wins. And he's playing against a Zen and a Dralii. Gacho, they were the 19 months tier 1. Team name's wrong? Yeah, sorry. Now that the team names are right, I need to go back and clear out my overlay. It should be fixed now. Nwpo and Atow, sorry about that. Zen almost able to air dribble over the top of the pre-jumps Nwpo, who loves himself some pre-jumps in defense in twos. Nwpo chaining some dashes and... Wait, wait, what? Is Atow trash talking? He says, nice one, no? I'm confused. Did he think it was on target or something and then he noticed it wasn't? Or is he just smack talking the current leader in the lobby? I highly doubt that. So I'm not sure I can explain. Maybe he took the ball away from Atow or something. I'd have to go back and see. Nwpo sends it too high. The counterattack is on targets. And Zen and Dralii up 1-0. Is there a prize pool of some sort? We will give... If anybody donates, we could make it a prize pool. And then if there's any ties, we could have players like choose who they want on their team to break the tie at the end. I think we just do winner take all. But as of right now, there is none. These guys gaming for the sake of getting good practice here in this lobby. And if I would argue these have been some pretty high level lobbies that are worth grinding in. Zen reset 50. Dralii had to use so much boost just to get back to the ceiling. In the meantime, the ball falling to the ground. Dralii, what's going on the goal line? He's been like kind of dancing around a little bit, and it didn't really matter because he wasn't in too big of trouble, but last second it started to get a bit sweaty. But he does make the save. Nwpo running upfield. Atow actually couldn't get out ahead of it. It seemed like he maybe wanted to help by bumping, but Nwpo dribbling too quickly to get any assistance. Racket Brawler, thank you for the 13 months. Fun times at the Pineapple Hotel a few years ago. Let's do it again soon. I don't remember you being there. It must have just been so chaotic. You know how it can be. Atow on an air dribble bump. Dralii actually sneaks underneath it. Flick by Nwpo denied. And he tries to leave it off midfield. Dralii wins the race though. Nwpo has more boost than Zen, so he's first back to the ball. As he's trying to chase it down, see if he could undercut Dralii, throw him off his game. But him and Zen do combine as they have a 1-0 lead. This will be Nwpo's first loss if he isn't able to hold on. Atow booms to the ceiling. Can't get the double as he falls to the ground. Zen the other way. Reset setup to Dralii. Dralii says sorry. It felt like he probably had a chance to put on a better shot, and he just apologizes because the pass was good, but the shot was lame. And they are holding on by a thread here. 1-0. Nupo cannot get the wave dash back to the ball as Atow and Nupo have full tanks, can set up whatever they want. Atow pulling off the urgeable reset. Zen dunks it down. Still a good scoring opportunity, although Nupo forced into a heavy touch by Zen being near him. Certainly he'd want to keep it soft so that he didn't have to just give the ball to Dralii, but Zen making sure he did. And now with seconds left to go, Nupo gets bumped, cannot follow this one up. Dralii can shoot it anywhere, and he does. So Zen and Dralii on the board. Nupo will take his first loss as we head to the next game. Dralii Nass versus Zen and Nupo. We opened up the whole series with Zen and Nupo playing together. I think this is their first time back on the same team. They were able to get the win very barely over against Dralii and Atow. Now they have Dralii and Nass. And Nass has been doing some serious cooking here. Zen off the pass from Nupo to the ceiling. Nupo's so careful around the nets. Or I don't even know if careful is the right word, but so hesitant as he stays on the ground. Maybe he was trying to fake him out. Nass just dunks. Normally you see this kind of play in reverse with Nupo just chasing the ball top speed and getting easy opportunities off it. This time it'll be Nass, as him and Dralii will go up 1-0. Zen with a ridiculous sidewall redirect back to the other sidewall. Not a lot of purpose to it, but it had a lot of power. Nupo 50 on the goal line after Zen got a demo. Nice setup between these two. Zen takes one out. Nupo dashing to get a 50 and just leave it hovering. Nass did a pretty good job to try and float there and get two different saves, but it's going to be so hard to do. And he's unable to. Nass just deleted as Zen locks in on the player, not the ball. Dralii, weird touch or weird mistouch. Not a situation you'd expect to see him miss very often. He drops an immediate sorry right away because he knew that everybody was expecting him to make something happen there, and immediately they have to scramble. Nass doesn't get the best 50. Dralii has to try and turn in and challenge. It all is too fragile. These high-level lobbies, you cannot make little whiffs because every bit of movement from everybody in the game is relying on those touches. And as soon as a big miss like that one happens, quickly going to break down unless you're lucky and there's some space and time. Nupo passing to himself off the ceiling. Reset wants to dunk Zen. Running upfield as soon as he recognizes he's not the intended target of the play. Pass isn't coming to him. He just needs to go clear out nets. He can't shoot here, so a fake and a 50. This one does pinch away as Nass gets a savior medal early in this lobby. Dralii flick. Ooh, try to get a chain dash going. Didn't work out. Actually might be in a better spot though because of it. Now he gets to tip it out to Nass, who puts it top shelf. What a save from Nupo as Zen comes past Nass. Look at the work he's doing. Nass goes in. We got to go to Nass POV. He gets one demo and he says, no, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're not allowed to get a save. I need my teammate to get an easy bucket. Nass and Dralii almost looking at a wide open net off the kickoff. But Nass taps slightly off target. Nwpo trying to pass to himself up high in the arena. Doesn't ever seem like there's an awkward place for him, but that time denied by the other team. Zen, just the right flip to kill this ball perfectly into the corner. Dralii wants a double, actually doesn't have the boost to finish it, so has to pull off. Interesting play from Nass there too. Knows he can't do much with that high bounce with his amount of boost, so he just gets as soft as touch possible so Dralii can go back and scoop it up. Nice catch by Dralii. He has one to beat, just needs a 50, and he does. Dralii gives them the lead. Cooking all by himself. Nwpo decides to turn in, and what a great catch and flick. And then cuts it right back to the back of Zen. And while he's there to make a play, it's so hard with that shadow momentum to really fight the ball off target, and Dralii just forces it in. Nass, nice last bit of air roll as Zen sidewall doubles. If Nwpo had any boost to work with, he would have been all over that play, but unfortunately starved out. Dralii flying through, wants a bump. Just tough to do with such a slow moving ball like that, having to go so far out ahead of the play. Zen wants an impossible angle, and he gets it. That did not seem necessarily scoreable. Nass dropping a sorry, but I don't know. Oh, I guess he was expecting him to clear it there as he jumped up, but Zen took it over the top of him and then put it in at a negative angle somehow in order to tie the game. Nwpo beating Dralii to the ball with the wall dashes. Dralii really controlled here in the corner. He's not going to get pressured. Going to try and take his sweet time as he air rolls for the soft touch and has Zen chasing him down on the back wall. Looking to evade him. Not the best play there from Nass as Dralii is able to clean up the back wall. Nwpo tried to go high enough to make it so that Dralii couldn't get there, but he does. Thank you for the raid, RSCEU. Much appreciated. Nwpo got movements, but not movement that Dralii wasn't ready for as he clears that one away. Huge lob to the back wall. Nwpo puts it into the corner, and we got another OT. Nass actually not going to have an easy time with this ball because it's going to push back towards the blue half. So Nwpo will get the first shot. Save from Nass as Dralii hovers where the potential clear could come from and is able to dunk it and keep it just outside the orange net. Nass, though, can't create past two. And a reset of the play to Dralii, who will pass off the back wall for the take heavy down the field. Nwpo and Zen able to combine to push it back out to the midfield, but Dralii has Nass in the midfield. Seems like he's not going to look for him, try and take it himself for a 50. Zen and Nupo chaotic here on the ball. Such a heavy pop from Nwpo, but not one that Dralii's not prepared for. Nwpo with a bit of space. Takes to the skies. Zen going for bumps. Gets a demo on one and boxes out the other and then finishes off the goal. I think it was going to go in either way, but Zen's going to be the one to be credited for it. As Dralii, last man alive, gets boxed out. Zen says, "That's mine." And Zen and Nwpo will win an OT. Zen falling from the ceiling here as we have Zen and Nass versus Nwpo Atow. Atow said Aga. A couple people were asking in chat because they've been confused. They're saying, wait, as Nwpo gets a nice 50 to be the first to score here. We've seen Nwpo and Atow play together. You will see each team, like Nwpo and Atow, play, I think, at least 3 times together as they play against every other combination of team that can be made. So right now, Nwpo and Atow are playing against Zen and Nas. They've also played against Zen and Dralii, which they lost to. And then they will have to play against Dralii and Nass as well. I don't know if they've already done that. And that maybe happened earlier, or if it'll happen later. But they will play together 3 times against the 3 different possible combinations of teams they can play against. So just because you're seeing Nwpo and Atow again does not mean that, you know, it's a mistake and they shouldn't have ever teamed again. It is a full round robin. It seems like the best strategy is simply winning all your games. That may just be true. Chaos here in the blue corner is going to lead to Zen and Nass getting on the board. Nice steal from Nass. Steals the boost, bumps the Atow, and puts it on target. Oh, actually, pretty impressive late save attempt, but it will still be a goal for Zen Nass. Zen delaying his take off the back walls. He sees the pre-jump, making sure that Nass misses, and then dunking Atow. What a great play from Zen. Sees the early pre-jump, makes the adjustment, because it doesn't matter when he has to take the dribble. He can do whatever he wants. And then he sets up the 50 against Atow to tie the game. Have you shared your thoughts on the esports decals? Are they released? Are they? I know they're releasing tonight, right? I have not seen them. I've just in 2 hours. So I guess I don't have any takes necessarily. I've heard that maybe KC are not getting one. That obviously seems like a bummer considering KC are the biggest fan engagement org and the best team by far right now. But who knows? That was just a rumor I've heard. I've also heard a rumor that basically the Ultimates aren't getting one because somebody said a grand finalist won't be getting them from North America, and that's the Ultimates. So I don't know why it was put that way, but the Ultimates I could see maybe had joined a bit late, and so that's why they didn't get one. I don't know how long it takes to get these all set up. But Mango went into the season almost unsigned. Like they got signed almost right before it started, which I don't know how early they were prepping all this stuff or whatever, but Atow to the crossbar. It takes 2 minutes to get it set up. Oh, well, see, I don't know what it takes to get a decal set up. Zen going solo here again across the field to make it 3-2 for him and Nass. Nice play from Nwpo and Atow, though, to quickly bring it back. Zen decides to not go to the kickoff, a strategy that I have seen in the few games I've been watching fail more often than not recently, as it creates a quick opportunity for Nwpo and Atow. Why can't they just make decals throughout the season like a normal game company? I don't know what it takes. I'm sure there's probably some legal stuff or something once you get you like an item in the actual Epic Games, you know, video game. I don't know. But I don't necessarily want to make excuses for them. There's probably a way to do it better. I don't know. Okay, guys, I don't have the answer, all right? All I'm here to tell you is it's a bummer that some teams are not getting them, especially if KC's not getting them. I mean, there's a few that I feel like you have to have. KC is like every version of their decal has been used by every player. It probably sells out a bunch. I don't know why Epic doesn't want it. It probably has like one of the top sales. Do they not want to make money? I don't know. I don't know what goes into it. Zen, a little dunk and a tap in for fun. to make it 5-3. As Nupo tried to cut in and make something out of Atow's touch. Epic hate money? I mean, they must. I don't know. We have to see. Let's wait till they actually get released. There are universal decals now, which I hope they still made them with Octane and Fennec in mind, because that's what the vast majority of people who use them will be using. Nass, great 50. Oh, Nupo gets faked there by Zen. Nupo has stopped at the midfield. I don't know what was happening there, but we were on his POV. And after the 50, he had had enough and tried to pre-jump this one. Nass to Zen. Oh my goodness. Zen off the ceiling. Almost able to make the play. Atow does clean up this save. 6-3, looking like Zen and Nass will get the win here, which does creep Zen up with Nupo to 5 wins. Nass right behind them with 4, as the KC duo is actually bringing up the rear. Ooh, does Nupo score these? He does. He does score these. 16 seconds. I guess there's still a chance. Atow sends it into the ceiling. Nupo is there to collect it and double it down. Ten seconds left to go. Nupo gets a bump. Atow would have already had to be at that ball shooting it if they were going to stand a chance to get 2 goals. So this clear away will confirm it. Zen and Nas with the win in this one. What game are we on? We're on game 10. Game 10 of 15. People were asking, you know, Nupo and Atow had already played together. They would have had a break between playing together if I hadn't made the mistake earlier of playing a match ahead of time. So we skipped over that one, and we're back to the other Nupo Atow game. There's going to be 3 games of every sets of teams. So this will be the last Nupo Atow game as they now play against Nass and Dralii for a chance to get a win. I think so far Nupo has only not been able to win when playing with Atow. But everybody's going to play the same amount against absolutely everybody. I think I saw somebody in chat say, is this rigged? It is not rigged in any means. It is a full round robin with every possible team. So everybody's going to have a chance to play with everybody by the time it's all said and done. Shredder Cat, they've been at 12 months, tier 1. Could you tell us what team won the most? I have a little spreadsheet. We can look through it at the end. It already has a bunch of stuff set up to tell me like who's winning, who's got the most goals for, goals against. I don't know. It's pretty cool. It has a lot of stuff. I don't know if it has the best duo as well, but I think we could probably figure that out, even if it doesn't already. Dralii stealing this off the top of Nupo's car. Atow back to cover it. Nass on the air dribble. No goals yet here in this game. Opportunity for Nupo Atow to get some redemption here. If we've seen Nass and Dralii together, I'm sure we must have at some points. Not sure how their duo has gone in comparison. Nupo double is in. He got it underneath. I believe it was Nass in nets. Nupo lobbed it up to Atow. Back to Nupo. And the double is placed perfectly to prevent the in and out save. Atow passing to himself off the ceiling. Decided to roll away, not go for another touch reset, like we see in those situations often. Nice speed from Atow. Ceiling reset shots. Denied by Dralii. 1 JMRH. Saving a tier 1 for 2 months. Much appreciated. 25 subs in the day. Shout out the homies in the chat. Atow getting dunked big time directly into the nets, but Nupo's able to save it before the final pixel goes in. So Nupo and Atow will stay in the lead. Dralii trying to slow the play down and maybe go ISO against Nupo, but Atow's not going to allow it. He recognizes that. Despite being on low boost, make sure to get back involved and make it easy. Nupo recovering back. Nass, pre-flips. Do not put the ball on target. Who has scored the best goal yet? Atow had a full field psycho to open up in the first game. Nass apparently hit something nasty while I was setting up the scoreboard, which now I've gone ahead and made sure I never ready up until everything's ready. And of course, nothing as insane has happened again. But there have been some solid plays. He hit an open net. Oh, that was the best one. Dralii resets. Gonna get a nice 50. You see Nass running interference on the ground. Nupo jumps to try and pre-jump and prevent himself from getting demoed, but cannot stop the 50 from going in. 1-1 with 1:03 left to go. Nass off the side wall directly into Nupo. Gotta get credited with his shots. Never really stood a chance of going in. As Atow controls in the corner, resets, catch. Not being challenged, so it seemed like he didn't want to rush the issue. But Nass is able to get that 50. Dralii mistouch shot. Could still be available. Nupo was there to stop it, but I don't think it was put on, or actually did get credited with the save, so never mind. It will be a Nupo save as Dralii goes over the top of Atow. Nupo 50, gonna have to make another save. Try to go in and out, not able to. Dralii drops the nice shots. Nass actually placed it in a position that might have made it easy for the in and out save. The 2-1 with 20 seconds left to go. Nass gonna fall to the ground as he sees the pre-jump, so now it's just Atow who shadows and then turns to steal it away. Nupo misses the last second read. Atow does his best to keep the offense going by trying to put the ball right back on top of him, but it's gonna have to be a 0-second wonder, and instead it's Nass hitting the backboard down and in as Dralii and Nass get the win. Dralii and Zen instantly on the board here with Zen and Dralii versus Nupo Nass. I do need to update their wins here as Dralii goes to 4 and Nass goes to 5. So it is a 3-way tie between Zen, Nupo, and Nass for the lead right now. And Nupo and Nass are going to instantly tie this one back up as Nass gets a bump. Drops a nice one. Nupo says, thanks, great pass. No. Okay, so my spreadsheet is perfectly set up. Here, I can probably figure it out. And of course, people are going to, as soon as I look away to figure out who this one match that seems slightly messed up, there's going to be some crazy goal. Oh, did that just go off the, oh my goodness. A 50 slams into the top part of the ceiling on the side wall and directly into the net for Zen and Dralii to go up 2-1. Okay, let's see. We see the 3 Zen Nwpo games. Oh, wait. This should have been easy to figure out. This is just Dralii. Okay. I think I have it figured out. Dralii and Zen, 3-1. Sorry, I know you guys can't see what I'm trying to do on the side. We want to make sure every single lobby is fair and every single duo plays against every other duo. And I believe I have realized what the spreadsheet had wrong. Nass. Lobbing this one up to the ceiling. Zen and Dralii back the other way. Double is in. They could not intercept it. Dralii and Zen. Zen going to get the playmaker. The hat trick for Dralii. That's all Zen did was just put it out high in the midfield and let Dralii go to work. Nwpo just rolling this directly at Nass. And then trying to fly back into the play. Goes soaring past it. Can he get this double? That angle wasn't going to be easy. We'll get credit with the shot, but not for any follow-up. Nass does clear up the backboard. As right now, this is Nass and Nwpo, who are both tied for the lead against Zen. Zen can pull himself away if he wins here with Dralii and takes sole possession of the lead. Nwpo lob upfield. Nass pass was hopefully intended for himself off the ceiling, but didn't actually put up enough power on it. Demo, so now it's Nwpo in a one-on-one. He's just going to go double jump bump. Dralii makes the save. And Dralii gets them out of a really tough situation as Nwpo and Nass find themselves down with half the game left to go. 3 goals to make up. Nass having a backflip to take this one out of danger. Zen has pre-jumped and he actually put it off target. Can Dralii follow it up? He does the best he can, but he only puts it on the back wall. Nass gets immediately dunked by Zen, though, and it'll be 5-1 with 2 minutes left to go. Kickoff goal is the kind of thing they're going to need here, as Nwpo, interesting setup there. I was looking away, but turned sideways in order to get a side flip off the ball and get himself a goal, as now Zen and Dralii not going to the kickoff. We saw Zen do that earlier for his team and actually resulted in his team immediately getting scared on. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go check out what that kickoff was. I don't know, man. 2-3-3-4. They were the 15 months prime. Ooh, Dralii forces Nass into the save. Nass says yes. That's all he has to say about that is yes, as Zen tees it up off the backboard. Nwpo gets undercuts and then demoed, so no chance to score. Nass not quite able to put one on target. Nwpo floating back down to the ground. Nass able to cover the angles to prevent Zen and Dralii from scoring. Zen went for a pretty much impossible pre-flip redirect from behind the ball. Nass cannot get back to this one. 6-2. 49 seconds. It seems like Zen and Dralii are going to take the win. It'll be Nass, Nwpo, and Dralii all tied at 5 wins, with Zen just barely ahead. These guys dropping the next. (6-2) for Zen and Dralii with a Dralii MVP. 4 games left. 4 games left as it comes down to the wire here. And it's looking like a battle between just about everybody but Atow. If Atow wins out, which he actually does play every round for the rest of these games, he could bring it back. But the problem is people are going to be winning alongside him. He can't win all by himself. So somebody else is going to be able to get wins along the way and outpace him. So I think Atow is actually the only one eliminated from getting first place. But he could bring it back and certainly not finish last. Just has to clutch out his last 4 games. The Jews say the 13 months prime. The real question, though, is Zen, Nupo, Dralii, and Nass. Which one of these guys is going to finish on top? Atow will be the first to score here in this game. We've had very limited blowouts, I will say. As Zen drops a nice one for Atow. Trying to play every part of being a good teammate, including hyping up your fellow player. Dralii, chance to score with a really well-placed shot there, but leaves a little bit off of it. Zen from the back wall. Reset caught by Atow. Smooth catch by Atow, especially from Zen's POV. I don't know if he knew Atow was coming, but Atow just sneaks it up and takes it away. Nwpo reset past 1. Can he get over the top of Zen? No, Zen is in the perfect spot to double it away, but it doesn't matter. Dralii cleans it up, and Nwpo makes sure to get the bump to be 100% sure that Zen does not find a way to save that. Who was my top pick coming into the games? I mean, I talked about it early on, and I genuinely didn't know. I don't think that, you know, clearly right now there's only been one person really eliminated. Everyone else could still win, kind of proving my point that I didn't know who's going to come out on top. But I would say I also, you know, would have kept Atow in the mix with the rest of them as well. So who knows? Maybe when it's all said and done, Atow will actually bring it back and it'll end up being close across the board. Yeah, I hate to cop out and say I don't know who I'd pick, but every time I'm like, okay, I think I'd probably pick Nwpo. But I don't know, Dralii's out, and then there's Zen. Nass has been a really strong twos player. So I just keep going in circles. I'm not sure who I would have picked. Zen on an air drill from the back corner. Late reset gets Nwpo and Dralii beats. Nwpo sidewall pass to himself, gets the reset, but Atow prevents him from getting anything done by bumping him away. Atow actually 180 wave dashing was probably the right idea. He would have wave dashed himself past the play if he didn't. So I don't know if he intentionally 180 dashed, but it was able to set him up to make a play on the ball much faster because of it. Dralii's 50. Sent off target. Zen, little reverse wave dash to put himself right back behind the ball after pushing too far forward. Or really, maybe even faking the touch. As Nwpo looks for the impossible angle, can't find it. Dralii just muscling off Zen. Nwpo returning back to the play with 0 boost. Can't get anything going, but does create an opportunity for Dralii, who has sent it way too far into the corner. Does bump Atow, so slowing them down slightly. But not able to create a goal as Zen looked like he was looking for a pre-flip underneath the ball to launch it. It's a really tight skim, so you risk not touching the ball at all, but that wasn't really a big deal in that situation. Nupo just rolling the ball down the field. Can't get anything going before the challenge. Approaching a minute left to go. Can Zen extend the lead even more? Nupo gets the save. Dralii with a 50 at the midfield. Nupo, I think, might have bumped Atow into demoing his teammate. Not sure what happened there. Atow gets us out in front of the net. Dralii actually helped it in a little bit. And it's going to be a 3-1 lead. Nupo and Dralii desperately needed a goal. Nupo went soaring over the top. Dralii gets the 150 and can't stop Atow from rolling it in off the back wall. 3-1. Dralii Nupo needed a quick goal. Nupo cheated up to get that quick goal, but the kickoff was not won into the orange half as one into the blue half, so the best he could do with that was a bump afterwards. And instead, it has gone even more in favor of Zen and Atow. "47 seconds. The mod who's controlling the predictions seems like they're ready to call it. But Nupo and Dralii still putting up a fight as Nupo chips this one up into the air. Nothing can happen. And instead, it might even be another goal the other way. Nice speed by Atow. 5-1. I'm assuming... Okay, nope, they're going to play through it. We have had next called a few times. These guys not interested in going next. Trying to see if they can get 4 in 25 seconds or... Okay, there's the go next. I was waiting for the go next. And there it is. Game number 13. 13 at 15. Grinding out some serious lobbies today. Zen has pulled ahead. 2 more wins than everybody else. But he does have to sit out later. One of the last 3 games he sits out. Dralii, Nupo, and Zen actually sit out these last 3. And so Nupo gonna need 2 wins. He needs to win this game and his other game that he has left to play to at least tie Zen. Otherwise, he's in trouble. And he needs some Zen losses, I think. Otherwise, Zen could just pull it out. Oh, wait. He needs a Zen loss. He's on Zen's team. He might be in trouble here. Zen did not go to the kickoff. Drops to sorry. He's done that a couple times intentionally. So I'm not sure if this means Zen has already secured it. I'd have to do some more math against, you know, Dralii and Nass as well. But I guess if they lose right now, Nass is probably still in it for sure. Coil God, thank you for the 22 months, tier 1. Mr. Feer always delivering when I'm in need of good Rocket League. No problem. These guys delivering with some really solid lobbies today. Zen. Lobby went up to the backboard. Nupo and Zen won the last 2 times they played against the different combos. Atow and Nass, the last combo they need to prove that they can take down. They've had some close games, though, I think, in their 2 previous ones. Are you doing an NA version of this? I'll reach out to the NA guys. I don't know if we'll do it today, although in theory we could. If the NA guys wanted to. What day is today? Today's Tuesday, right? So they could still play, right? Uh-oh. Guys, what day is it? Surely it's just Tuesday. And we still have Wednesday. Yeah, we do. So our LCS is RLCS is Thursday for Mina, but I'll be streaming that. So we have today and tomorrow. Nice in and out save. And it's going to result in a goal back the other way. 3-0. Atow getting pressured by Zen as well. Nupo tried to slot it. Instead, he clutches up and leaves it out for free for Nass. And it's a 3-0 lead for those 2. Zen gonna put one on the board. 1-3 shortly after the kickoff. Nupo, that is why he chases down, man. He loves to chase down the ball in every situation, but he really loves to be aggressive on that kickoff. And he's able to get there so much earlier that he chips it all the way over the top. So he's basically just banking on Zen doing just that. killing the ball right there, available for him to chip it. And it works out. As Nwpo now has Nass waiting on the ground. Can he 50 it in? Nope. Nass will clear it off to the side. Nass trying to get a demo and flick going. Or sorry, a catch and flick going, but gets demoed. Zen with just Atow and nets. Couldn't get enough movement. Atow makes the save. Zen to Nwpo on the side wall. I think he might have expected Nwpo to have some boost or something, but Nwpo, who didn't have anything, was never going to turn up. Nothing he could create off that. So instead, floats back. Nass, a setup straight down. 2 minutes for Zen and Nupo to get something going. Here's a potential opportunity. Atow able to clear it away. Nass forced the reset to be used. And that made the save easy as Zen tries to pre-jump Atow. Goes underneath. Still has control. Nupo not challenging, staying shadow. Atow's going to slowly work it in, and he's going to get a 4th goal. Nupo just ultra patient. Not something he's normally doing there. Normally he likes to rush towards the ball, but you see no jumps at all from him. And then that goal line 50 is not going to be enough. 4-1. Nass. Gets it taken away. Now Nwpo. Can he go for the full field redirect? Just barely misses it. And it gets put on target and dunked in. 5-1 for Atow and Nass. Zen is going to call the go next. And Zen and Nwpo going 2-1 in this event. Atow with the late MVP. Zen and Atow versus Dralii and Nass. We probably cut out in between the games there. So I'm going to explain for the people who are maybe watching back on a YouTube video. The stakes. Zen and Nass are the two most likely to win here at the end, with Zen at 7 and Nass at 6. This is Zen's last game. Zen sits out the final game. If he is able to win this one, it doesn't matter. Zen will have 8. No one else can get there. And it's Zen securing the win of the 2v2 mix-up. If he does lose, it leaves the door open for Nass to win. Nass will have tied him up, and then Nass plays the final game and could maybe take over and take the lead. Otherwise, it might be a Zen and Nass tie. Dralii could win the last 2. And he could actually get to 7. And then that would tie Zen. And that would also mean that Nass lost and ends at 7. So there could be like a 3-way tie for 7. There's going to be some ties, probably. Unless Zen or Nass can pull it away. There is no prize. There's just pure, you know, ego's not the word, pride. It's a really long set of matches. So assuming there's tiebreakers, I'm going to guess that they won't necessarily want to play them. If they do want to do a tiebreaker and pick, I think what we do is, if it's a 2-way tie, then those players get to pick which teammates they want to play the final game. But no, we probably won't do 1v1 tiebreaker. That wouldn't make sense for a 2v2 tournament. .3v3 with me. No. Pick your own bot teammate. If it's a tie, you should separate by MVPs. Hey! That's an interesting tie. Of course, to be fair, you'd have to tell them ahead of time And then they might, like, try and steal goals and make sure they're MVPs to get the tie. Dralii dropping a wow after she's able to hit all the woodwork and not score the net. But yeah, it could be a fun way, assuming there is a tie. They don't want to play it out. We could just give it mentally to whoever has more MVPs. Winner has to 1v1 Feer. Yeah, that would. You're right. That would be a has to 1v1 me, because that would be quite boring for them. Dralii and Nass up 2-1. Trying to set us up for the drama finish. If Zen is able to win here, then it is just over. Zen, nice catch and beats. Makes it 2-2. Atow attempting the back pass. LaHartz, the 34 months of Tier 1. Thank you. I know we as 1v1 fans would love to see a 1v1 tiebreaker, but it doesn't make sense to break a 2v2 tie with 1v1. Unless they wanted to. At the end of the day, it's whatever these guys want to do. They have, you know, hopefully been given some good games that maybe they've been lacking due to the current rank situation. If they want to have even more, that's up to them. Herbals 1v1 tiebreaker. No, we're definitely not doing that. It's Atow and Zen with 1:11 left to go. Atow resets. Dralii cannot make the save. He bumped him into it. Last touch might have been Dralii, but it's still an Atow goal. As it's now 3-2 with 1:08 left to go. Zen trying to clutch it out. Orify TV, they give it 10 months prime. And Pack Thunder, they give it 3 months of prime. If you guys have enjoyed today's stream and you have a prime available, remember, you always got to use that prime on cooldown as soon as possible. And if you have been at the stream but you've hated it, then don't drop your prime here. Just go find another stream to do it. Squishy Boy, they've been 12 months Tier 1. Dralii. Needs to get something going. Nass and Dralii. Dralii boxed him out, and it will be 3-3. Jimmer, thank you for the prime. Atow with a miss on the side wall. Dralii just says, no, I'm not letting you get to net. I'm just getting in your way and making it possible. 3-3, 36 seconds left to go. A goal for Zen and Atow means a Zen first place victory all alone. I believe he'll have to share it or lose outright if Nass and Dralii and Nass are able to get the win. Those are the two who are potentially trying to catch up. Although I guess since Dralii's playing with Nass, it really is just Nass because Dralii can't win by himself. 11 seconds in regulation. Zen flick past one. Dralii controls to the back wall. And Atow's pre-jump actually ended up working out. He might even score off it. I can't believe it. Dralii brought it back down and then back up into the pre-jump. And it ended up working out. What is this? Atow just waited there forever. Dralii, why don't you catch it and just bring it down? Instead, at 0 seconds, he brings it back up into Atow and then leaves a wide open net for Zen and Atow to get the win and the sole lead for Mr. Zen. Game 15. A nice set of 2v2 mix-ups ends with this game as Dralii will put one on target. An open net available for him as Nwpo cheats up and tries to go for a demo. Instead, the net is wide open. Nass, 50, leaves the ball floating for Mr. Dralii. Now the net is wide open. Nwpo says, great pass. I think it is. I think it is. I think that even I could finish that one. If I was in this lobby, I think I could hit this shot that Nwpo hits right here. That's, in fact, exactly how I would have hit it. Nwpo catching, not able to make anything happen. Dralii not being challenged by Nwpo. This is a rare playstyle from Mr. Nwpo, as he is shadowing and being patient here when he's normally diving on the ball left and right. Atow sends one top shelf. That gets cleaned up as we're tied 1-1. Atow trying to claw back after a rough start. He is on a bit of a winning streak, though. And with another one here, could bring himself to tied with Mr. Nwpo. If Dralii Atow win, there will be a double tie. Surely one more match. There's going to be no tie. If Dralii Atow win, I mean, there'll be a tie for last between Nwpo and Atow. But Zen is already, you know, all alone with 8 wins. Nobody can catch up to that. Which duo had the best win rate? We can look through the spreadsheet after the end of it. The spreadsheet by default doesn't have it, as Nwpo is going to shoot a long shot and make it 2-1. Atow diving, gets beats. Nass drops him a nice one. This spreadsheet has a lot going on, but what it doesn't have is what duo went the best. Wow, MVPs have been fairly shared. Right now, MVPs are 3 for every single player with the exception of Atow. So if Atow wins and gets an MVP, it'll be 3 MVPs for every single player, which is just kind of interesting. Gives you an idea of how generally close it is. Now, that being said, it doesn't look like Atow's going to win this one. So it looks like someone is going to sneak out the most MVPs. Oh, it'd be a tie for second and last. That's what you guys meant by a double tie. I get what you're saying. But it doesn't look like that situation's going to happen anyways. Nwpo cannot clear this one. It does get dunked in by Mr. Dralii. 3-2. 2:28 left on the game. Nwpo Nass trying to run away with one last win. We went back and got the game that we skipped over. So one of the games on this guy's spreadsheet didn't have one of the entries for one of the players. But believe it or not, I used my master sleuth skills to figure it out. Here's what I did. First, I panicked. And I messaged the guy who made the spreadsheet. Second, I thought about it for 2 seconds and realized whichever player is not on a team and not sitting out is probably the one that's missing. So that ended up being the solution. Everyone who was either playing or sitting out was listed except for one player. So believe it or not, that leaves just one player. And then I just typed that player's name in. And then it was fixed. Nwpo and Nass just kind of chilling here in the back corner. What a save. Nwpo finds the speed when he needs it to cut across the net. Nass wants to dunk this in somehow. It's going to be hard to do. And now he's actually left Nwpo all alone. Atow's going to go chase him down. Nwpo on the back wall actually did enough. Dralii missed. I mean, Dralii even needs to put that on target. But you could argue that Nwpo stayed alive long enough to force the mistakes and now almost went for a powerful double off the back wall. Nass, low 50 on one. Cannot get there for the second one. Saves his flip. Atow demo, so it is going to be a goal. Dralii and Atow bring it back to try and force the double ties. 49 seconds on the final game. When is an S masked duelist? Yeah, I think we need to do that too. The hidden 1v1ers was a lot of fun. People seem to want to do it again. Players seem excited about it. Nass, flick. Nupo decides not to go. Dralii had already covered it. 33 seconds. Nupo and Nass in the attacking half. Nupo not a lot of boost to work with though, so even if Nass does get this out to him, I'm not sure how he would score it. Nass, what a 50. Gets popped up in the air by the 50 and then uses his available flip to dash and win the next play. Nothing comes of that one from Nupo though. Nupo will turn back on the ball. Atow reset, first touch. Nass read that. Can't get the second 50. Nupo denies this one. Nass gonna long shot, but he's just gonna clear it away. OT in the final game. I was wrong. I was wrong about Dralii and Atow and their comeback. The early parts of the game had Nupo and Nass clearly leading. Atow reset, top shelf, crossbar down and in, and Dralii and Atow will clutch it up. That was the last one. That was the last one. GG's. Dralii, Atow. It was Dralii MVP, right? Not Atow. So if Atow had gotten an MVP, they would have been tied for MVPs. But 4-3. And one more update to make on the overlay. Atow with 5. Dralii with 6. Man, I mean, that was a pretty close lobby. At the end of the day, it was kind of just like we expected. Zen with 8. Nupo with 5. Dralii with 6. Atow with 5. Nass with 6. Slight favor for Zen. And then pretty much equal across the board everywhere else. All right, here's our spreadsheet. Can we zoom in on it a little bit? These didn't autofill, but not too worried about that. Zen Dralii, did they go undefeated? Zen Dralii lost to Atow Nass, so probably not Zen Dralii. Certainly there had to be at least one of the duos that went undefeated, right? At Feer, we go again tomorrow. Yo, Cresper, let's do a Mina one, man. Let's get even more Mina people involved. I think that was a good set of games. Dralii stole that last MVP. Otherwise, it would have been 3 MVPs for everybody, which is interesting. KD? Wait, what is KD? Is it like goals for and against? Oh, that would make sense that Zen has the best KD. We can get one for tomorrow before, since there's no RLCS. Ooh, that's right. We'll be in chats. Nass had the most goals scored for his teams. Atow brought it back. He did. We are streaking, by the way. Shout outs to you guys. This was actually a goal that was probably too high based on how long the stream is, but you guys hit it anyways. I think the clear thing is that Zen came out as the winner. Nupo was strong. His matches early with Atow did not go well, but then Atow was able to climb back. Atow wasn't really playing well in the last half, but then won like almost all of his last 6 games, like maybe 5-1 in his last 6 games.